Give this motherfucker a big round of applause. Adam Walsh on the saxophone. It's like a fucking Terminator up here. Right. Listen, we're going to do one more song. I think it's going to stick around. She's all going to stick around? Just find something to play, so. Anyone to play? Anyone to play? Anyway, folks. Messy. We're called the Mighty Step. So we're right here in Dublin. It's our album launch. Thanks for putting it out.
fantastic.
That's fantastic.
They're a great act.
The Mighty Steph.
Yeah.
Stephen Murphy and the lads.
Yeah, I think I've seen them twice.
They're going to be huge.
As well.
They're going to be huge.
Yeah.
And before I go, people think I'm talking to myself. This is the lovely. I'm convinced, right, that your name.
My name.
Was a Bobby Darin song.
Hazey Lake.
You've got
Hazel
the
Lake.
cutest little Hazy Lake. Oh no, it's Babyface.
That's Babyface. Maybe it's not Hazey Lake.
Hazy Lake. And will you hear this for you here, look in that camera and tell people what you do. The list. Tell me what.
I'm an artist liaison. I am a music promoter, Irish music promoter, radio DJ. I DJ in the Grand Social on Tuesdays, plugged in. It's all Irish DJing. I was in Patrick's Day Parade. I mean, I've been in that in Dublin for the last 8 years or something like that. So I did that. I do Kill Collective. That's another thing.
Well, you're talking about all these things now.
Yeah.
I was in the St. Patrick's Day Parade. Dave, if you dare say leprechaun, right? I will walk. But don't. Hold on a minute now. Artist liaison officer.
Artist liaison, yeah.
That is really an impressive title.
Well, yeah, it's I suppose in a way it's kind of glorified babysitter in a way, like
Still.
for bands or, like I started off doing artist liaison in Spree in Waterford. I did Waterford Spree for 13 years or so, and I was an artist liaison. Started off as a steward and then kind of worked my way up as an artist liaison.
Is Spree still going?
Yeah, Spree's still going. Yeah, I think it's their 22nd birthday or 23rd birthday this year or something like that, I think. But yeah, so basically started off doing that because I'm from Waterford originally.
Yeah.
I'm Waterford born, reared up until about 19, and then I left to come to college in Dublin. Which we're not in Dublin, we're in Cavan now. So
Yeah.
I came
You're
up to
home
Dublin.
now, love.
I'm
You're
at home.
now.
I'm there. Back in the country again.
Yes.
Came up from Waterford, but I did artist liaison there, which is basically we had acts like we had people who are stilt walkers, fire breathers. It's all street performance people, So I got basically kind of learning my artist liaison trade, I suppose. So
the festival has these people on.
Yeah, the festival puts on all these street performers and music and stuff like that.
Then. Somebody contacts you and says, "Hazy, we've got these people now. Show them where they're staying, tell them what time they're on and stuff like that."
Yeah, it's kind of like, well, as an artist, when I started off doing the first part of artist liaison kind of stuff, it was just literally I looked after an act. So it'd be like, you meet your act on the Thursday maybe before the weekend, like it'll be the Friday, Saturday and Sunday it'd be on, and then big parade at the end, So what would happen is you'd basically be told, oh yeah, this is what's happening. You're meeting these people, they're getting off the ferry, blah, blah, blah. So you go, you meet them, you give them their like tea and coffees and stuff for the apartment they're staying in, have a chat with them, then say you're going to meet them an hour or two before their first performance time when they're
Where do these acts come from?
Everywhere, absolutely everywhere.
These stilt walkers, they come from, where do they come?
They come from anywhere. We've had people from Amsterdam, Germany. We had, I've met people from England doing street performance stuff. I've met people from Australia, Canada, Germany, France. Anywhere. It's kind of
Would you have contacts for these now?
No, not so much anymore because I haven't.
You've moved on from that.
I've still got a couple of them as friends on Facebook and stuff like that. Like, a couple that I got on with really well. But yeah, I don't do that anymore, so I don't really have contacts for them so much. But I could if I wanted to contact them in some way.
But the reason I was asking is because people are always saying, where do you get them fire people and the stilt walkers and stuff like that?
Yeah.
And nobody seems to know.
Yeah.
From festival to you have to contact another festival.
You have to contact, you kind of have to contact someone else to get to someone else.
To see whether there's no directory or anything like that for these street performers.
No, there isn't.
There's not in Belfast. We had a festival here about 5 years ago, and a lot of them came down from Belfast. There was one fellow on stilts. Geez, he must have been 20 feet in the air.
Yeah, some of them were really mad.
They were class.
Yeah, some of them were really, really mad up there.
So you moved on from that?
I moved on for that, yeah. Well, I was doing that as well as being up here in college in Dublin. And while I was doing that, actually, I met Roddy Clear, who's Irish music radio DJ. Was on WRFM, and that's how I knew the show and stuff. That's kind of how I got into Irish music, because I was working with him. He was the kind of the announcer for the stage.
Yes, yeah.
So because he was the announcer for the stage, I got talking to him lots of the time and stuff. And then I used to listen to his radio show on Friday nights on WRFM. And then I got involved in kind of like Irish music through that. Then when I was about 17. So I've been kind of doing
Irish music as in trad?
No, as
in Irish artists?
Irish artists.
Yeah.
Not, I did Irish dancing for years. I like trad, but and I will deal with trad bands, and there's a few good ones, at the moment. But I would more deal with kind of stuff that's not trad scene, because Ireland gets portrayed as a diddly idle sort of
still does
all the time, and like it's only, I think, since like Villagers, and so we've got Villagers, Hosier, and Gavin James at the moment are kind of after getting and breaking the American scene and stuff like that. So like they're now sort of started seeing that it's not just Irish. Like I went over to Milwaukee Irish Fest over there, and they had a rock stage, and there was nowhere near as many people at the rock stage as like Irish rock stage as there were for people for like, you know,
traditional Irish
trad. It's just
it is huge though.
Trad. They might not even be actually trad. They're like, they just have trad instruments. So like the Red Hot Chili Pipers were playing, like, you know, and it was just, they were playing rock songs and things like that, but they were using trad instruments, so they were kind of like, everybody was like up dancing them and stuff, you know. So and
we had shaken off the U2 mantle as well, because I think they're the only band that ever came from Ireland.
I know, I don't get it. You know, I don't get U2. I'm sorry, I just don't. I think they were, for me, a right place, right time sort of thing that happened, which happens all the time. You do find bands that happen all the time. But I found better bands. I found younger bands, and I found bands that are I work at the King Kong Club Battle of the Bands competition, like, you know. So we.
Hold on, we'll go to that now in a minute. Tell me about the bands now first. Now, what bands do you go and listen to? Like everything, anything new that's coming out.
Yeah, everything and anything really. I'm not a huge fan of kind of like screamo metal kind of stuff, because I'm like, if you have lyrics, then let me have the let me know what the lyrics are. I don't want to be like hearing like this kind of screaming at me kind of thing when they have like the list there and they've actual lyrics written down. So it just doesn't make sense to me. I like that. I'm not big on the whole popular music kind of stuff, like, you know, things that you normally hear on popular radio.
The formula,
that kind of stuff. I'm not really big into that. Like Lady
Gaga
on the show, kind of stuff.
On your show, right?
My radio show. Yeah. My radio show, I play all Irish artists mostly. What happens sometimes is but sometimes I'm asked, would I be able to do a band from Austria or Germany or something that are on tour, like an unsigned band. I wouldn't, like, you know, play anything else more than that. It's all Irish. I'm very much an Irish only type thing, like, you know, because I feel that we don't have enough promoting for it on radio. So
in general, I don't think it's.
I think in general what happens is that radio influences a lot more than people think, because it's on your cars, it's on your phones, it's on your.
You're trapped.
You're basically there. Radio is the biggest one. You might not watch television, like, you know, a lot of people. I don't watch TV. Yeah. I'll find something online or something on YouTube or something like that, like, you know. But a lot of the time, radio is on somewhere. It's in a shop and you're walking through. It's like, you know, you have that.
An earworm gets in there.
You know. So you'll hear a track on a song, and you're like, now you've got Shazam now, so you don't need to go Google anymore. You've got like Shazam, and you can
point
just
your phone
and go, oh my God, that's it, and then wander away. You know, that's kind of the whole thing, like, you know.
So here, I'll try and get you now. What were you listening to today?
On the
bus.
Come up on the bus. I was listening to a bit of Funzo, De Laurentiis. I love De Laurentiis. They're one of my. It was De Laurentiis, Roy 7. And The Immediate were my first three big bands that Connor from Villagers. So I've kind of followed them, and I kept following them. And De Laurentiis are one of my favourite ones. Like Roy 7 broke up last year, and The Immediate are now Connor from Villagers, basically.
Why do you think Roy 7 broke up?
Just like things came together. They're all doing, just life. Life
gets in the way of,
it happens, like, life happened. I think one of the lads had a family anyway, but, like, you know, Paul decided he wanted to go back to college. He was doing college stuff, and then he was doing TV stuff and RTE. So I think, like, a few things just kind of
if it's not
imploded, I suppose. That, you know, so.
And you need 1,000,000% commitment.
Yeah, it's a really big job. Like, you know, like I know another band, Juna, that were absolutely amazing band. I loved them so much, and I was really upset when they broke up. But the same thing happened. It was like we either go full force into this as a musician, or we, you know, keep our jobs and don't do it as well. Like, you know.
Yeah, so life does get in the way of it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Supposing that your band's watching now and they want to get played on your show. That's not thunder, it's all right. You're in the country, it's all right, relax, you're okay.
Paper.
You're in good hands, don't worry. Somebody wants to get their demo played on your show.
On the Noisy Plug
Yeah.
on Dublin City FM. They just have to send me an email.
Talking to that robot there.
Robot. Yeah, if you want to get onto the Dublin City FM show, the Noisy Plug, you can just email Noisy Plug. It's just noisyplug@dublincityfm.ie. So that's basically what it is to contact me. And it's the easy thing. If you want to contact me in general, noisyplug@dublincityfm.ie, because I get that straight into my email anyway. It just feeds straight into my normal
and
email.
Facebook.
Oh yeah, Facebook. Facebook is the same. Noisy Plug, Noisy Plug, or Plugged In, but it's like one word. Plugged In Live for Facebook, and Twitter. Twitter is the Noisy Plug on Twitter, or Hazey Lake on Twitter as well. I have that as well. So that's kind of.
How do you remember all this stuff?
I don't know actually. I have a lot of stuff.
Jeez.
I have a lot of stuff. I used to do.
I'm just watching you there on the telly. I'm watching you there on the telly, and you're like just reaming it off there. No problem.
It happens. You just kind of have to remember the stuff. Like, you know, I used to have. used to do the Noisy Plug sessions as well. I did that for a couple of years, where I used to take bands and swap them.
Yeah.
So I had a friend in Waterford do one. I had a friend in Galway do one, and I had there was one done in Kilkenny, but then that kind of stopped very quickly. And then I did one in Dublin.
Yeah.
So what I do is like get a Galway band come to Dublin and play, and then the Dublin band will go and play in Galway, and they'd kind of swap around to do networking gigs. It was all about networking and trying to get people. So the idea was that the local act brought the crowd, and then two local acts, because it would have been two from somewhere else. So it might have been a Waterford band and a Galway band, and then two Dublin bands in Dublin, or vice versa down in Waterford and Galway. You know, but that kind of imploded as well. Because of venues closing down, they got tax things happened to them. One of my friends got very ill at one point, so everything just like kind of like that all together.
How's
I was
this
like,
book going?
okay, so I had to give it up. I couldn't start it back up again without my friends being able to do it. And the venues the venue in Waterford, there's not very many venues in Waterford anymore. Like, you know, it's gone. Like the Forum used to be the best one, and that closed down. Then it's now just a restaurant or a pub or something like that. Like, so it's not a venue anymore.
And you're involved in the Dublin scene, so to speak.
Yeah,
Now, first of all, Hazey, how did you get in there? It's a pretty unique club.
Well, no, it's actually I'm very, very lucky, because what happened was how I started off actually with the Dublin scene. I was on Yahoo Chat, right? I don't know if anybody remembers Yahoo Chat, but basically, like, Yahoo Chat was like a page, like an internet web page. That you basically went on, you put in your ASL, which is your age, sex, and location. So you put that in, and like you put in your name. Like I put in my kind of like a pseudonym, like, you know, that kind of stuff. I started off being about 11 when I was on it first. I was 17 at this stage, and I finished school at 16, and I was going into college at 17. So I started doing media production and stuff like that in college in Waterford in CTI. Which I think is now like the College of Further Education or something like that down there now. But yeah, so basically did that first. And while I was doing that, I was on Yahoo Chat, and this guy came up on the thing. He said, "Hi, I see you're from Waterford. I'm the manager of a band." And I was like,
yeah, come on.
Yeah. Like,
hello.
you saw I was 17.
Give me your number.
You know,
hello.
You know, that kind of thing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I was like, whatever, you know, and I was like, yeah, okay. So, but he's like, no, I am. And then I was like, yeah, okay, I want proof. So for about a month, like, you know, he sent me on like all these things, websites, things, put me on this forum and all that kind of stuff. We're talking on this for about a month, you know.
And were you going, hold on a minute.
I was like, no. And actually, I went, okay, this is actually a real band. Okay, this is kind of interesting. And they were called Jove at the time. And it was Roy 7. They changed their name to Roy 7 then later on. So
Brilliant.
That's what happened with that. I was up here then because I knew people up here, because I was up here going to their gigs for the first 2 years. And then I moved up at 19, then up to Dublin. Sorry, we're not in Dublin.
But it's okay.
Moved up to Dublin for college, and went to Closh and did sound engineering, and not sound engineering, communications and media production in Closh and stuff.
Don't tell me you do sound engineering as
So,
well.
No, well, I do partial stuff.
Come on, doing sound for bands as well.
Well, I can if it's not a digital desk, because I haven't worked on a digital desk in a long time. But if it's I can record bands in studios and stuff like that from doing stuff in college. We do the radio show with the King Kong Club, like, you know, as well. So I record the bands.
Don't worry, we'll get to the King Kong
like
Club
that.
in a
So,
minute. Hold on now. We're going to get there.
But yeah,
go on. So you met your man online. Hello.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. So basically, that was like whatever it worked out with that. I used to come then up and down then to kind of gigs and stuff like that. Up to I used to stay in the Four Courts Hostel. I used to stay there, and like I used to always come up there and stay in there every time I came up. Or Eamon from the band, who's he DJs in like kind of like the Globe and stuff like that, and the Grand Social as well. So like he basically might put me up on a blow up bed or something in his apartment that was in town and stuff
Hold
like
on,
that.
it's
Like,
getting
you know,
better and
so,
better and better. Hold on a minute now, hold on. 1 minute you're online, next minute you're on a blow up bed.
Yeah, blow up bed in an apartment instead.
If a blow up doll comes into this now, we're gone, you know that, you know, completely.
Yeah, no, blow up bed. It was an air mattress, okay. Those ones, so yeah. But yeah, no, that's how I kind of started getting involved in the Dublin scene, was because of that. I said yes to someone online for coming and
I've
talking
said
to
yes
him.
to a few people online and they still haven't turned up.
Yeah. But that's exactly what it is. It's like because of me saying yes to someone after asking something online, I got involved in the Dublin music scene, you know, and
because it is hard. No, seriously, it is hard to get in there, isn't it?
Well, yeah. Well, look, for me, it was very easy. For me, it was very easy because of the way it worked. Like I got I've been in contact with him. His name's Carl, and he basically was in contact with me, and I used to go up to the Roy 7 gigs. And actually, 10 years ago, on the 19th of March, they had a big gig. Joe had a huge gig in the Olympia with De Laurentiis, Jenny Linford's, Carl Ford, and 66E, who are now some of the members are like Galaxy.
Yeah.
So they all played. I think there was someone else. I think it might be someone else. But basically, that was how I got to know De Laurentiis then. And then I kind of went, so basically saw De Laurentiis and saw that, and then they did a little tour with The Immediate and came into Waterford, and there was no one there. There was like all of 4 people there in the bar, you know. It was really interesting, and I had a bit of a laugh about it with them like earlier on because, earlier on in the year, because they were doing this kind of like you could ask them questions and stuff like that. And I was like, so what's the difference, like, you know, when you go into a bar with 4 people and you've played a gig with 22,000 people in Spain, you know, that kind of stuff. So it was very, very interesting. It was very interesting to have like the conversation. They're like, well, I hope we don't get 4 people in bars anymore, you know.
No, that's
but like that's where I started off, was what I'd seen, you know, where people didn't know them. And I went for years. I was like, go see this band, go see this band, go see this band. And people are like, yeah, just another band that you like, Hazel, whatever, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden then, like, you know, they start getting bigger, and I see all these people that I said, go check them out, and they're like, oh, well, I like them more because my girlfriend likes them. You know, and it's like, thanks. So you wouldn't believe me, but because your girlfriend likes them.
Exactly, yeah.
You
Oh,
know,
that's the same.
So.
It's the same with being from the country as well. What do we know in the country, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So like it's very like it was when I was in Waterford. It was very hard to get people to go to gigs. It was like drum blow from a stone. It was just like, oh, we don't know them, and I'm like, but you don't have to know them. You will know them. You have to go and see them first. You know, you can't do that. Like, you know, so
King Kong Club. Yeah,
King Kong Club. That's actually because of doing the same thing, coming up from Waterford and going to the gigs and stuff like that, and coming to college. Eamon was has been DJing in the Grand Social. Eamon from Roy 7 has been doing the Grand Social for a long time. He's done it for years. He did it before even I knew him and stuff. And Kieran Black used to do the King Kong Club in the Grand Social. Well, it was called Pravda then.
Pravda.
So that was 5 years ago. 5 years ago? Actually, more than that, way more than that. It was more than that. But 5 years ago, I started working then with King Kong Club because I met him at the King Kong Club when I went visiting Eamon DJing and stuff like that. So Eamon introduced me to Kieran, and then I moved back down home. I finished college in 2009. 2008, 2009, I was working in Tramco, and then we were let go in like 3 hours. Like I was supposed to be in for 7, and they said we've I was like, oh yeah, 3 o'clock we have a meeting. And they were like, oh yeah, we got let go.
Yeah, I remember that being on the news.
So I had no money then. I had absolutely no money then. So I had to go back down for 6 months down to Waterford again. And I stayed down there for 6 months and just got talking to Kieran again. And he's like, oh, I have an idea to do a radio
You're hungry
show.
for it though, aren't you? You're hungry.
I love it. Yeah, I do love it. I don't get paid for most of this stuff.
Yeah.
Like any festivals, I mostly I volunteer for. I tend to go in and just work at it, and I get other benefits from it.
You get accreditation and stuff like that for some of them.
Yeah, well, I do. Like, obviously, if I'm working there, they give me the accreditation to get in there. But I work there. I don't go in there
to league.
I don't go in there to and I feel even when I go to a festival where I know people that are working at it, I feel a bit sort of guilty that I'm not working at it because I'm like, oh, I could help, you know, that kind of stuff. So I do get a bit like that sometimes. So.
Where are you working this year?
Well, the next one's Fantastival.
So Fantastival has been going for how long did you say?
It was 2010 was the first one, so like this is the 6th one essentially. Like, you know, and I started off the box office in 2010, because my housemate was doing artwork. She randomly kind of went there, like, you know, to a meeting, and I said, okay, if they need a hand, bring me down. And when I got in there, obviously no one knew who I was, and I started working there. But what happened was people who said they were going to do the work didn't bother showing up, and I turned up, and then they were all going, what are we going to do? There's no one here for box office. I said, look, I'll stay here. So I did like 12 hours straight, just like there, and I was like, look, I just need an hour off to go get something to eat. Is that okay? And they're like, yeah, perfect, that's fine. Like, you know, did it again the following year, and then the year after that then.
Who runs Fantastical?
It's Louise and Benny. I suppose she's Taff now because they got married. Yeah. But it's Benny Taff. He's kind of, him and Louise are kind of like, and Yvonne Heary is another person as well. They're all kind of like the three main people that are involved, and then. Yeah, so it's. But
its reputation has gained and gained.
Yeah, it has a lot. It's an absolutely amazing festival. Like they had it in RD first for the first couple of years.
Yeah.
And then they got this other place in Bellorgan Park.
Yeah.
It's Bellorgan Park.
I've been there,
the guy from Bellorgan Park basically said that they could take some of the trees and stuff from the area and make a stage. So stage two, there was stage two. So stage one was like a circus tent thing that you had because of fire safety. You had to have a bigger tent. And then stage two then was like kind of like this wooden structure, but it's absolutely beautiful. It's so cool. It's called Van Halla.
Yeah,
it's brilliant. Like, you know, so it is really, really, really cool in there, and it's like what I would consider a sort of like what Electric Picnic used to be years ago. Like, you know, about 9 years ago, before it kind of went so commercial and
became a
stuff.
rave.
Like, so like it was kind of like that sort of like nice sort of family feel about it. Like, you know,
not there's anything wrong with raves, but it's just
it's like it's kind of like once Oxygen died, it was like they all those Oxygen heads kind of moved over to Electric Picnic. So that's kind of what happened. You
it's
know?
all dance acts this year, Electric Picnic.
I don't know actually. I haven't checked it out, so I haven't had a look. I think I'm working at that as well.
Oh yeah. Oh, we'll see you down there then.
I'm working in. I'm actually working for Electric Picnic. I'm working for Natasha's Living Foods tent.
Oh, right. Well, we'll call to see you, but the camera, point the camera at you.
Yeah.
What are you doing at Fantastical? Will we see you walking around with a lemonade?
No, I'll be at the entrance for the artists. So the artists will come in. I'll give them all their wristbands and stuff like that. And then if they have any problems or anything like that, then they contact me and you know that kind of stuff. Which actually is doing the street performance stuff has honed my skills. And like someone goes, oh, I'm missing a guitar plectrum or something like that. I'm like, well, hang on a second. That other person, I know someone has one, like, you know, and I can just automatically go, all right, okay, and work. Like, it's really, really cool that I can work really quickly.
Yeah.
So I like if someone has a problem, I can automatically solve the problem.
To work on your feet,
some
especially
way.
in a situation like that.
Really, really quickly. So that doing that kind of street performance stuff did it aided me a lot in doing things like, you know.
So what else is happening this year?
Oh, well, Fantastival anyway, I know doing that, so that's that one. King Kong Club is every week, every Wednesday, so that's the thing, and same with my plugged in DJing night on Tuesdays. That's the same thing every week. The radio show then every Friday as well in Dublin City FM, so that's there every Friday.
Every Friday night?
Yeah, every Friday.
Now, right, we're going to leave you on this, right? A Hazey Lake disco.
Hazey Lake disco?
Right, tell me what you play at the Grand Social.
Oh, I play a lot of stuff. I kind of start like, I kind of play funk, rap, rock, and then that kind of stuff. Like, yeah.
No Nathan Carter.
So I do that. No, I don't do that. I don't. But yeah, so I play kind of like, so there's like funk bands, like we'll say, sort of, there's Danny G and the Major Sevens, Zaska. I play a bit of rap then, like, you know, Funzo, Collie. Boss Levels, that kind of stuff, like the Irish rap scene. The Irish rap scene there's a certain group of people doing the Irish rap scene, and especially in Dublin anyway. I don't know about here.
Yeah,
but,
it is.
But they're really, really good. Like
we've had Elaine on a few times.
Elaine, yeah. So I actually saw that in the video. Yeah, so she's very good. She's one of the. There aren't very many female hip hop artists, rap artists. There aren't very many of those. She's an interesting one because she's like real Irish hip hop, like, you know, the Bear On and all that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, she's real Irish, like kind of, she goes really Irish. But like there's a group, like my friend Alan Newman has the Boss Levels thing where he produces a piece of music. Yeah. And then he gets like maybe 5 or 6 different rap artists from Dublin and Ireland and stuff like that. And they do like 16 bars each, and they all do like different raps to the same piece of music, and then they make a video and put it all together.
Brilliant.
So I think they're on YouTube. #1. Yeah, Boss Levels. It's Boss Levels, and I think it's up to, they're going on to #4 now, so I think it's like Boss Levels 1, 2 and 3. You look it up, like, you know, so that's That's kind of a really good like thing. And then Funzo kind of does a lot of the lyrics, kind of like the lyrical kind of like background parts, like, you know, stuff. But he also then does stuff himself. Like he's a really good musician himself, like, you know, and yeah, some fantastic stuff. And Jonathan Lambert then does all the videos and stuff like that as well. So there's a nice little team.
Yeah.
So that's kind of nice to do. Like it's very interesting when you think about like people, like someone posted up recently saying is the Irish music scene cliquey? And I wouldn't consider myself or Kieran in a clique, because we tend to have everybody. We take anybody at the King Kong Club. We take any acts, any artist, any singer-songwriter. It doesn't matter how unusual they are. We take them in as long as they can perform original stuff, because we don't really do
covers. Yeah, well, it's not.
We don't kind of like give out to them if we don't have it. But like, no, exactly.
Not, you know.
So we like to have as much originals. Like, say if it's a new band and they're only doing covers anyway, we tend to like, you know, say, okay, grand, right, we'll let you do covers, but if you get into the semi-final, if you get into the next part, you have to have at least one original song. Yeah. And it sort of gives them like an edge, like sort of like a driving force. Like it's done. The King Kong Club is done with a clapometer. So like some people will go, oh, then it's about how many people you bring, and I'm like, well, in general, the Irish music scene and music in general is about how many people are with you and are like buying your music and like promoting you and stuff and going to your gigs,
getting people in.
So like so that's kind of like an incentive, and our prizes are pretty good. Like at the moment, the semi-final prizes are for to go and play at Electric Picnic at the Oxjam stage. So like that's if you win a semi-final prize, you go play Electric Picnic. Yeah. So and you're automatic, and if you're clever enough as a band, you can actually go into Electric Picnic and find people to talk to get more stuff out of it. Like if you're
Tell them they are.
No,
how to enter. Tell them how to enter.
No, do the King Kong Club. Just go to thekingkongclub.com, I think it is actually. But if you look at that, just look it up, and the King Kong Club in Dublin, and you go in there, and you can contact them as kingkongclub1@gmail.com. And then you get you just organise with Ferdy. Ferdy is kind of our booker kind of person, and then he will kind of send you on information and then book you into a date. It's on every Wednesday, and then we have a semi-final every 2 months or so, like, you know. Yeah. And then it's all like kind of like everything's done by clapometer. So it is about how many people you bring to get into the thing.
Yeah, that's it. But rock and roll.
Yeah, but it's like that anyway, and it's the same with like anybody says anything like about music. Like I've had people come to me and saying like, you know, I think I need a manager. And I'm like, why do you think you need a manager? Oh, because I don't do the Facebook thing and the Bebo thing and the whatever thing.
Social media, yeah.
I don't do social media. And I was like, well, tough luck. Yeah. You know, sorry, lads.
That's what it's all about.
This is what it's about now. Yeah. Like, this is, and it's even difficult. Like, it's still difficult for, it's still difficult for from a point of view of, like, you know, say people from Waterford don't know bands from Dublin. People from Dublin don't know bands from Waterford, and that's kind of when I was doing the sessions and kind of spreading people around. That was what I was trying to do, was kind of like break that bridge, like break that sort of gap. It's always been like that though. Like, you know, like I've even living in Waterford, it was like, you know, guys, this band from Dublin are coming down. Who are they? And you know, and people up in Dublin don't have a clue about Waterford bands either, because there's so many bands in Dublin anyway. So it's very rare. Yeah, it's very rare for people to do that. So it's kind of interesting. But like there's so much stuff in Ireland. Like, we've got so much music. The problem is that Ireland, I call it the Irish complex. And what the thing is with the Irish complex is that it's kind of like sort of three factors, I suppose. One of them is always, well, sure, they haven't broken America or UK yet, have they? So they mustn't be that good.
Never be a prophet in your own country.
Yeah, that's one, right? There's another one then is, sure, that's only my friend from down the road when I went to school with him, sure, he wasn't that good. Like, you know, so that's that sort of thing. And then the other thing is then like just this sort of like begrudgingness.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You know, it's like,
how can you just be any good? You're from Ireland.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing, but it's almost like a personal thing. It's like, you know, if someone does start doing really well, they kind of go, well, like, you know, they must know someone, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not like that, like people work hard. There are people who work hard. Like Gavin James has been working hard for such a long time, and, you know, I don't know much about Hosier much, but like he's obviously done that, and like same with Connor from Immediate, like, you know, he started off doing that.
Was recorded in his attic.
Yeah. Like, it's mad. Like, people just don't realise it, I think. People just don't understand that we actually do have talent. Maybe it's that sort of, I don't know, backwards Catholic thing. It's a guilt trip. I don't know exactly what that is, because I didn't really do the whole religion thing, like, you know. So I maybe it's that sort of like, you know, backwards sort of guilt thing. We can't be good. There has to be someone better than us kind of feeling. But there can actually be like people who are way better than us. We can be as good as them if we want to, if we drive ourselves to it, like, you know. There's a lot of kind of a lot of stuff where like you get acts and then people go, oh yeah, whatever, they're not that great and that kind of stuff. And you're like, yeah, but at least they're trying.
Yeah,
you know?
they're doing it. They're getting out there.
I'm just I kind of find it very I find it very difficult. Like, so like if someone asks me to do a review of something, I find that very difficult for me because I don't get up on stage. I can't play an instrument. I used to sing in school, but that's about the extent of it. So I kind of would feel a bit guilty if I was asked to be a judge or criticize someone's like performance or something like that. I'm like, hang on a second, I don't have the like same as if anybody's giving out information, anybody in like any sort of position, like if anybody's doing videos giving out information or anything like that, like, you know, so I don't know, videos about how to get into a festival or how to get your band noticed or something like that. You kind of have to have, I feel you kind of have to have like the actual experience. So did you get into a band or into a festival by doing these steps?
Yes,
And if you haven't, then why are you telling people to do it? Like,
are you an expert?
Like, exactly. So I kind of have that sort of thing all the time. You know, I've 10 years of working with different sets of people, different groups of people, different types of people. And I've worked in festivals, in production work. I've done drama. I've done backstage stuff in...
You're a therapist.
I do. I'm a therapist.
Yeah.
I'm not a therapist, but I have a lot of experience in working with different groups. So I did stagehand. I did sound stuff for stage. I did
band liaison. Therapist. That's what you are. That's exactly what you are. You've done it all.
I've done quite a lot. I have done quite a lot. It's very difficult though. I still find it hard to get like proper jobs. Yeah. Like full paid, full term jobs. I think I give my CV to people and they go, there's no way she could have done all that. But I have, and it's because I started off very young and my mother was absolutely instrumental in that. Like, she used to just go, yeah, you know what you're doing, go ahead. Like, and that was about it. She never kind of stopped me.
Mom.
She never, yeah, my mother's great. My mum, Mary, hi mommy. But she's really great. Like, she always kind of like, even when I was younger, she went, oh, there's camogie and there's Irish dancing down the local hall. Like, you know, which one do you want to do? And I'm like, I'll do camogie first and we'll see. And she's like, okay. And then I got smacked in the head with a hurley and I went, nah, see you later. Let's go for Irish dancing. I did that for 9 years, and then I decided to, like, you know, I decided to start getting a bit too commercial, start becoming very modelly. Like, it wasn't about the dancing anymore, about how good you look.
How good you look, yeah.
And even now there's this whole thing of like...
big wigs and...
Yeah, well, the wigs started coming in when I was kind of finishing up or so.
Well, that's when I quit. Once I started putting the wig on me, I was out. I was gone.
I know, that's it. You're absolutely done. Do you want the hat instead?
Oh, look what you get. This come from Dublin now.
It's a Dublin hat.
It's a Dublin hat, or is it a Waterford hat?
It's a Dublin hat. I wasn't down in Waterford recently, so...
What's that like? Girls, what's that like? What do you mean? Yeah, fab. What?
Fab.
Give the hell a round of applause. Fab. Come on. Hazey, thanks a million for coming on.
Yeah.
Been absolutely crazy.
Been crazy.
My head's gone round now. I'm going to think of something. I'm going to be lying in bed thinking of you tonight anyway. But I'll be lying in bed thinking of you tonight. I'm going, I wonder if I'll ring her and ask her that now.
You can ask me. I have actually no problem. If people want to ask me stuff, I have no problem answering it. Just don't go onto my Facebook. Like, don't add me on Facebook and then put stuff on my page. Yeah. Or immediately message me going, check out my band, because that actually quite annoys me. Yeah. I don't mind that at all. I don't mind people messaging me, asking me nicely, like, you know, hey, how's it going? I'm in a band, blah blah blah. Could you do this, blah blah blah? Not like here, take this. Like, you know, just do that.
Make me a star.
Yeah. I don't do that. I don't like that. Like, I don't like people directly posting things. It's like, let me decide if I like it or not, or if I want to promote it. And if I do promote it, then I promote it. If I don't, then I might not like it. But I'm not saying I don't like it either. Like, you know, because I don't like doing that either, because people have their own opinions.
Brilliant.
So, you know.
Hazey Lake, ladies and gentlemen. The woman that's doing it. I'm not going to say you've done it all. You're doing it all.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
Yeah. And you can get in contact with the Noisy Plug is on.
Noisy Plug is on Facebook, Twitter. Then Plugged In is on Facebook and Twitter. If you want to go on the radio show, again, it's Noisy Plug at dublincityfm.ie. That's on Friday nights between 9 and 10. And then Plugged In, If You Catch Me. That's a thing actually as well, if bands want to come into the Plugged In show.
Yep.
If you want to come in on Tuesdays into the Plugged In DJ thing, it's only DJing in there, but if you've got a CD or anything like that, you can bring it in and I'll play it. And you get to sit into the venue and have a drink and listen to your music being played over speakers in the Grand Social. So that's kind of another thing. And then definitely go to Fantastival. Definitely go to Fantastival. You need there. May 1st to 3rd. It's only €95 for weekend camping. It's absolutely amazing.
Brilliant.
De Laurentiis headlining on the Sunday. Gold Up Chain headlining on the Saturday. Not sure about Friday yet, but yeah, absolutely amazing. Some absolutely fantastic acts. Even actually, best thing to do if you want to check out some Irish music, check out that list of people.
Fantastical.
Just list that whoever is playing on that, go listen to them. There's absolutely amazing bands on there. Plutonic Dust. Who else is on there? Loads. I can't even...
Loads. Have a look at the Fantastival
just look at that, yeah.
Facebook page as well. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Hazey Lake, let's give her a big round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's it. We're going to take another break now, and when we come back, we've got more ladies talking about acting shows, producing this, that, the other, you name it, they're on. We'll be back right after this. Hazey, thanks a million.
Thank you.
Cavan Crystal Hotel provides 4-star accommodation on the edge of Cavan Town. Located conveniently on the Dublin Road, just 60 minutes away from Dublin. With 85 beautifully appointed bedrooms and a number of luxurious suites. We offer wedding packages. With our 1 wedding a day policy, we guarantee to make yours a special day. Enjoy a meal at our award-winning Opus One restaurant, or have a drink in the atrium or residence bars. Feeling energetic, you can work out in Zest Health and Fitness Club, or maybe pamper yourself and visit Utopia Health and Beauty Clinic, or Avita's Hair Salon, both located on site. Situated only 5 minutes from Cavan Town Centre and local amenities. Cavan Crystal Hotel, gateway to Ireland's Lakelands.
Can I talk now? Yes. Yes, I've been told to talk nice and gently now, for 2 reasons. I'm not telling you the other one, but the other one is because I'm going into Dave's ear. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back Bernadette McDermott, writer and producer.
Thank you.
Now, the last time you were here, you were on talking about the play that you'd wrote and the children's play.
Yes.
Giving us all the details. And you said before you go into production as such, you're going to come on and tell us about it. And you're that stage now.
Exactly, yes. So the last time I was talking to you, we were only at the casting stage. I had 1 casting session and I was here promoting, looking for new children. So now I'm at the stage where the show is on Friday night. So opening show Friday night. So very exciting. It's been a hectic couple of months, but brilliant. Yeah, really, really good. Really impressed with the children that we've...
Since you were here, you've done through your auditions and your production and building the set and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Tell us about it. Come on.
Great. So yeah, we've had a couple of months and, you know, initially just getting all the children separated into, we actually had so many children that we have 2 casts ranging from age range. So I have 1 cast which is 6 to 9 year olds and I have an older cast, 9 to 12 year olds. And there's going to be 1 show Friday night and 1 show Saturday night, different casts.
Fantastic.
So it's brilliant, yeah. And so
that made your job twice as hard.
Yes, but there was just so many children and so much talent that I thought it was only right to let them all have a chance to grow.
Yeah.
And it's actually funny because when you're obviously directing the same show, but to a different group of children each day. So it actually, the story has emerged a slightly bit different depending on which children I'm working with. The story is slightly different because they have just interpreted the text slightly differently. So.
And are you fascinated by it when you're directing it as well?
Yes.
So when you're directing and some of these kids come along and deliver it differently to what you had written?
Yeah.
Do you go, oh, wow, that's the way it should be? Or do you go, oh no, I want it the other way up?
Actually, what I like, because obviously I'm used to adults and used to, acting myself. And obviously, if you have an idea, you sometimes bring it up with the director, and they'll take it on board, or they'll say, okay, we can work on that. We can do that once. That idea, well, it didn't actually work. So okay, thanks for listening to my idea. But what fascinates me is that the children have ideas, and they're not. They're very open about giving me their ideas.
Yeah, yeah.
And they'll say, well, how about we say it a little bit differently, or how about...
And I like that. Our kids today like that.
Yeah, just really creative and really imaginative and want to be a part of the whole process, not just the acting part. They want to be part of the production of it. And they've given me ideas for costumes and makeup and everything, yeah. Songs, the big music, everything.
And when you were casting, give us a quick synopsis of the play first, and then I'll ask you about who you've cast where.
Okay, great. Yes, so the story, I'll just quickly go through the story because the last time I told you all about it. So the story is basically, it's a fairy tale. It's based around a little princess called Scarlet, and we meet her at the beginning of the play, and she's very lively, very bubbly, and really energetic, and loves her life, princess in this beautiful castle. But her mum dies, and her father remarries, so she has an evil stepmother who brings along with her, she now has a stepsister the same age as her. So they're the real evil element. And they put a spell on her that she can never laugh again. So the whole story is basically about, also that she can never laugh again, and only her true love can make her laugh. So it's about, does true love really exist? Is she going to find her Prince Charming or whatever? And the journey too, there's also another element of a lot of forest characters. So we meet lovable characters that we all love, like Snow White, Jasmine, Princess, there's an Elsa, and they all make their journey to the castle to try and break the spell.
These well-known characters, these
well-known characters. Yeah. So yes, and it's definitely, it's a fun show. It's I'm really proud of all the work that they've done. Flabbergasted with how well they've done. And I think, it's a show for all ages. There's a few jokes in there that adults will get that will go over children's heads. Yeah. But
you hope.
I hope.
The way kids are nowadays, you don't know whether
they're smarter than...
Yeah, they're way ahead of us. Way ahead. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But so casting these... So you had auditions and you had loads of people coming in.
Piles of children came. Yeah, it was amazing. It was really, really nice to see. And so the casting process, we had a couple of weeks at the start where I got to know the children, and I separated them into groups, and I got to know them, let them be imaginative, let them improvise, and cast from there. Yeah, so I think it's quite well cast.
Fantastic. And is it all local? Belturbet?
No, completely. I have 60 children from all over Cavan. I have children from Cavan Town, Ballinyal, forget somewhere, Milltown, Girahan, Belturbet, Ballyconnell, the whole of County Cavan, basically. Yeah.
And when you put the call out there, the people just came in their droves to it.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, there's just I think a huge place for youth theatre at the moment. And I spoke previously about how I loved youth theatre when I was younger, and how that's why I wanted to come back to my hometown and do something with children in the area. And definitely the parents have been brilliant, really, really supportive, and they just love that their children are getting to be part of a healthy activity every week and using their imagination. And I think that's what drama is really good for as well. It's really good for their education. It's really good for their schoolwork. And also, not every child is going to end up being an actor when they're older, but what it will give them is, the team skills, being part of a team, being proud of themselves, character building, and being, in life we end up having to present, whether it's in university or whether it's in work. You always have to present, and it's something that I think a lot of adults find quite daunting.
Yeah.
And I think drama is a good skill, gives them that little bit of confidence they wouldn't have otherwise.
It is absolutely fantastic. Right, before we turn you into our next guest, we want you to look into that camera and tell everybody where it's on, when it's on, what time it's on, and where they can get the tickets.
Brilliant. All right, so Fairywood is finally here. It's on in the Civic Centre in Belturbet on Friday night and Saturday night, the 17th and 18th, this Friday and Saturday night at 7 p.m. And I would advise people to come early because tickets are available at the door. And I'd advise people to come a little bit early to get your tickets. And come out and support local talent. The children have been fantastic, so come and support them. They're very young, 6 years old, between 6 and 12 years old. So come out and support them and see what they've achieved over the last few weeks. So that'd be great, thank you. And thanks also, can I just say thank you to all the people, I list you all in the programme, but all the people who've helped with the production so far. My co-producers, Nicola Brady Starr and Liz McDermott, and everyone that's helping me with set and sound and lighting, and the millions of jobs I've been hounding everyone about all week. So yes, thanks in advance for all your hard work you're going to do over the next few days.
I just have to say, Nicola's in the audience
Yeah.
with us tonight, so we can give her a big round of applause.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
we should have dragged her on, really. You know, we should have just brought it. But now, by the powers and magic of television now,
Thanks,
we're going to change you into an actress.
Yes.
And that
A
actress...
better actress than me.
Well, you've treaded the boards with her anyway.
Yes.
So now, by the powers that be, I'd like to turn you into Julianne McKiernan. Oh, that is amazing. Come on. I'm sitting here and I don't know how that was done,
Either do I.
but that was brilliant.
Magic.
Were you transported? Is it
I
like a
was
Star
yeah.
Trek thingy?
Yeah, it was beamed here.
You're beamed here.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, award-winning actress, Julianne McKiernan. A 4 awards you've won.
Yeah, 4 in the circus, yeah.
Right, tell us about them, come on. Then I'm going to delve into your acting career.
Well, we were doing the Dead School with Cornwall Theatre Group, and we were doing the festival. We had 8 shows, and out of the 8, I was nominated 7 times and won 4 for Best Supporting Actress and Most Promising Young Performer here in Cavan, which was great to get.
That is incredible stuff.
Yeah, it was pretty, I didn't expect anything like it. To be nominated once would have been brilliant.
Yeah.
To win one was
Well, to
brilliant.
be nominated is
Yeah, like I somehow think I cheated it. I don't know how I was nominated, but something was
well.
clicking.
I saw you in the Dead School, and it was award-winning stuff.
Oh, thanks very much.
And I'm not going to mention that bit. Promise you I
The
wouldn't.
naughty bits.
No, there was no naughty bits as such.
One naughty
But
bit.
you did take your knickers off. But that's as far as we're going, right? That's
Yeah.
anybody that's seen the play knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but you're...
And I'm going to have words with Ronan Ward about that.
Well, it was my idea, actually. It wasn't Ronan's at all. It was mine.
Well, wait, hold on. We better explain then, just in case anyone thinks we are joking.
Okay, yeah.
There is a scene in the play where you're getting into bed and you have to take your clothes off. You have to take your knickers off.
Yeah, just, one
Yeah,
item of clothing,
yeah.
Everything else remains
So
on.
it stayed on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I just want to thank everyone in the Cornwall. I'm only as good as the people I act with and
Teamwork.
work with. Yeah. And I had a great co-star, and most of my scenes was with one person. So I don't know. I kind of feel bad for taking the glory in a way. A little bit of the glory. Like there was lots of other people who won loads of things.
Yeah.
With the production this year.
Yeah. Well, Julianne, let me tell you, they wouldn't give a shite if it was the other way around. They'd be going off with the awards and yes, got it. But
Yeah.
you deserved it. It was
Oh,
brilliant.
thanks very much.
And it was it was a daunting part to play, like, you know. I know I was joking with you there about
Yeah.
that scene and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you did it, and you brought a realism to it, you know.
Yeah, like when Ronan asked me to do the part, I didn't know what I was playing, and we went for the first reading, and I seen that this was in it. But I kind of thought, well, we can it doesn't give too much in the script. It depends what our interpretation of it is.
Yeah.
So, I was a little bit worried, but you get over it. You rehearse it a couple of times, you get over it, you have a bit of crack doing it,
Yeah.
you make it light.
Well, initially, the first time,
Yeah, it was a little
I'm sure
bit
it's
awkward.
a laugh and that. And
Yeah, I didn't mind too much when I got to keep my clothes on.
yeah. No, it's good.
Because, like I do work in the area as well, and I have to set some sort of
But
moral
that's-
high ground.
But this is it. It's that part now would be easy enough to do.
Yeah,
Learning your lines and stuff like that is something I watched that play, and everybody had an
Yeah.
outrageous amount
I
of
was pretty
dialogue.
lucky. I didn't have as much as the two
You had
lead
enough.
actors.
Yeah.
They had a lot. They were brilliant. I don't know how they did it.
But how do you do it in rehearsals and that? Like, I'm sure you're sitting there watching everybody else on and going, oh God, now my bit's coming up next. And
Yeah, it's just practice. I suppose as you begin to read it, you start to get more feel for your character, and then the lines just come. The scenes just start to happen, and I suppose I've been lucky. I would have been able to memorize things pretty easy, even like when I was in school. I just picked things up visually and kind of visualize the lines on the page for a while, and then they just go in. But you still be nervous going on.
Of
What's
course,
my
that's what I'm
line?
saying, like, you know.
Yeah.
and it's before you go away to Dublin or any place like that, it's local.
Yeah.
So you just have to look round, and somebody's going to be there that you know.
Oh, yeah.
Every time
Yeah.
you're going to look round and see a familiar face, and you're going to go,
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I seen you doing it as cool as a cucumber.
Oh, I wasn't feeling as cool as a cucumber.
That's why
going
you
on.
won the award.
Yeah.
Because obviously whoever was adjudicating went, I like, she's bloody good.
Oh,
And it's just...
you know.
No, but obviously it did. So, you know,
Yeah.
kudos to you for that. Where did you get the acting bug from?
I don't know. It's not really in my family. It wasn't something I was ever brought to as a kid. The theatre. My dad would be traditional rural, farmer. I always had a massive love of film. I loved films. Big into films. And a friend of mine was actually into films. He starred in a couple of films, and he'd be talking about different films that were happening, and he said, you know as much as people I work with, why don't you try it out? And I was like, no, I'm too shy, too nervous. And then I just said, well, I'm getting no younger. I've never done the youth drama or anything, so I just
You didn't do any of them things?
No, never. So I just went and enrolled in a basic introduction course in the Gaiety, and I think it was a 6-week course, and just went from there. They said, keep going, you've got something.
Now, somebody watching this now is saying,
Yeah.
you did a 6-week course. What does that entail? Is it going in and somebody says, right, read this, or do...
Yeah, do you know, a lot of that introduction stuff is games and group work. At the very end of your 6 weeks, you learn a little monologue and you perform it in front of the class. And that's it. It's mainly games, trying to get you to come out of yourself, that you feel confident enough to get up and stand
Or like
in front of
charades
people.
and stuff like that?
Yeah, and drama games like, pass the ball, like even little things like that, that it's a group thing that you feel at ease with the group to get up and talk and perform a piece.
Were you a shy person going into it?
Seriously, still am. I
Yeah.
suffer a lot with nerves. Yeah, really shy. That's why I remember in Loretto auditioning for a musical, Fiddler on the Roof, and I got a pretty good part, and I dropped out. I couldn't do it.
Stage fright took over?
Yeah.
Was it stage fright or fear of people, your peers, your
yeah,
school friends,
I don't know what it was, just wouldn't have had the confidence to get up. I would be too shaken. That old syndrome of just being terrified. And I still would suffer today, but I've definitely overcome it a lot. But I still would feel it, yeah.
You've battled it and
the more you do, the better you become. Do you know? And I suppose now I have a good few shows underneath my belt, but definitely still, first few nights of any show, the butterflies are going, feel sick, the hands are shaking.
That's good though, isn't it? It's good adrenaline.
A certain amount, but not to the point where you're worried about it.
Physically sick,
Yeah. You're worried going on. Just kind of keep, I suppose, breathing and stuff, and kind of keeping active for me kind of works,
That's it. It's the same as everything else we've been talking about before, about
Yeah.
bands and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Nobody knows the thing that goes into this.
Yeah.
Your breathing exercises,
Yeah.
your preparation.
Yeah, and I suppose it all depends on the person yourself, how much you feel you need to do before you go on stage. Some people don't do anything, they just walk out there and are brilliant. Some people spend maybe 2 hours doing yoga poses and voice exercises and humming.
Which one are you?
I could be a little lazy. If I should do the other, because I am quite nervous as a person, but I can get a little lazy, yeah, and maybe go out with doing bare minimum sometimes. But no, I try to be good and try and do a little bit. In this show, I actually had a good half hour before I went on and everyone else was on. So I just, would have kept moving and,
Yeah, but are you backstage reading your part, going da-da-da, or are you watching what's going on to get the feel of what's happening in the play?
I kept away from this one. I kept away because it's kind of two different stories. You've seen it.
Yeah.
There's the older story with the older teacher, and there's the younger story, and I come into the younger story. So I kind of just kept away just to have it fresh, that I meet this person for the first time, and, just to kind of like as if it was spontaneously happening.
It was very believable.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it was excellent.
I don't know if
Excellent.
that's a good thing or not
No.
in that part. Yeah. Well, thanks.
But so what's next now? Is it this Dead School obviously will wrap up now?
Yeah, we have 2 more shows to do at the end of the month, and I don't know what's next after that. We will see. Hopefully, I won't be resting too long. There's something else to come along. There usually is something happening all the time around Cavan anyway.
Do they contact you? Does Ronan say to you, "I'm thinking of doing something else," or does another director say, "Oh, geez, we're thinking of doing such and such a thing"?
Yeah.
Or does it keep your ear to the ground and say, oh, did you hear so-and-so's doing such and such a thing?
Yeah, it is. It's a mixture of both. Obviously, if you hear of a good production going on and there's open castings, go. But for the last couple of shows, I suppose I've been contacted first.
Yeah.
You know, they see you fit the part, we've worked with you before, or we know you from something else. And yeah, I've been lucky enough to be contacted.
And did you audition for Dead School? Or did you just read for it?
No. We had a workshop back in October, and I think Ronan seen a few people that he thought might suit certain characters. So I suppose it was like a little mini audition.
But that, Ronan, how does this get, I don't know how his head gets around it. Like,
Yeah,
he's
he's brilliant.
directing and he's acting in the thing.
Yeah,
I've said this to him.
Yeah, he's
How does he sit around a table of people reading and working out who's going to play what part and acting it himself?
he's a multitasker. A brilliant one at that.
Yeah, he's a dose. I'm telling you, I'd get him back on here. That is incredible, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Somebody could have a mind like that.
Yeah, he's brilliant. You know, he was brilliant to work with, and the vision he had for
And
the
so
show.
cool.
He's as cool as a cucumber.
Yeah,
Definitely.
but your whole gang is anyway.
Yeah.
They're all.
I was wondering, like, when is the shouting going to start? The week before the show? Nothing like that. They were a pleasure to work with.
Calm, cool,
Yeah.
collected.
They're one of the best theatre groups in the country, and there's a reason why. You know, Cornwall.
All Ireland winning,
Yeah,
and that's it.
yeah.
Well, Julianne, thanks a million for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
And congratulations.
Thank
and
you.
let's hear it for her. And now the powers that be, we're going to make you disappear now. You ready for this?
Yes.
Right. I know how to do this now this time. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.